Hey guys, it's Sarah's9 again. I'm back with part 3 of Let's Play MegaMan X6. We've got 3 of the 8 investigators down right now, so I'm going to try to get at least 2 more in this particular video. And in between videos, when I went to go die in Blizzard Wolfang stage, just so that I could, get a game over and have a chance to save, I decided to go ahead and grab another piece of... Well, actually, no, it wasn't another piece of the blade armor, but it was shadow armor that was in Blizzard Wolfang stage. It was a piece to that. And also, if you'll remember, there was that last corridor right before the boss in Blizzard Wolfang stage where ice cubes kept falling down, and they would immediately form like a layer of ice that would kill you instantly if you got trapped in it. And there were some Maverick Hunters I passed up there in order just to stay above the ice blocks and survive. So I just went ahead and rescued them too. We won't be going back there. But I think next I'd like to have a go at Mr. Infinity again. And we'll go ahead and use Zero. We'll go ahead and use Zero again for this one since... yeah, I know his armor isn't as strong as X's Falcon armor, so it may be a little bit more difficult to defeat the boss in terms of how much damage you take. But the thing is, I do have what I believe to be his weakness weapon now, thanks to having defeated Commander Yamark. Just the dragonfly special weapon is just so useful to me. Too bad Zero doesn't have his own Giga attack like X's Falcon armor does. I don't know if he actually gets it from another boss like he did in X5, but whatever. And what I remember is that one thing that really sucks, one thing that does suck about Commander Yamark's weapon is that, like unlike with Zero on X, you can't use X's Buster Shot and the shots from the Dragonflies at the same time. But if you just press normal attack, the normal attack button with Zero, he can use a Saber and the shots also come out from the Dragonflies. So, that just a little bit of extra firepower there. But with X, But with X, you have to press the special attack button so that he doesn't shoot his Buster Cannon in order to get the Dragonflies to shoot, so you can't have both, I have to admit, this is, it's like there's kind of a theme to each stage in particular, or at least I just noticed it in particular in X6, and I really like it. The fact that you have the whole entire stage consists of cutting the cables to this, humongous robot right here, and it's, especially starting out, not having done it before, it's a pretty difficult endeavor. I mean, of course, with Blizzard Wolfang stage, there's the slippery ice and the automatic kill. Whoops. And I can grab this guy because I have double jump. And then with ground Scaravich's stage, you also had the, you also had the levels of the museum, which can actually alternate. Yeah, I think I'll come back and get the hunters after that. After I defeat Infinity. The thing is, I haven't even found an energy tank yet, so I don't know, maybe this won't be any easier. But on the other hand, it's going to be a lot easier. I mean, Zero Saber just, does more damage in a certain amount of time than X's Buster Cannon does. So I think it'll be a lot easier for me to keep the green blob things out of the way to where I can actually make it over to Infinity and damage him. Useless fleas. Actually, is that what Infinity is supposed to be? Is he supposed to be modeled after a flea? He's got a tail, and I don't remember fleas having tails. Maybe they do. And he accuses me of being a maverick because I you know, destroyed his illegal weapon that attacked me first. Alright. Oh, well, I thought Zero's Saber would actually do a lot more, but it actually doesn't. Infinity's got... I never realized that for such a small guy, Infinity's got very strong defense. On the other hand, I seem to be having an easier time, I suppose. At least handling it, but I still don't know if I'm strong enough to do it. And it's actually much easier to destroy the... yeah. Honestly, if Zero's armor was nearly as strong as Falcon armor, this wouldn't be a problem at all. But it seems so far I'm making it, I guess. But boy, he can clone himself as fast as I'm defeating the clones. Oh, well, yeah, it seems the shots from the Dragonfly are what's actually really doing the damage here. Well, it's gonna be close. Finally took care of him. That took me, what, a total of 9 or 10 tries? But yeah, I think immediately after Aelia gives me my special weapon and all that general information that she does, I'll go back to the side area and rescue. There's a whole bunch of Maverick Hunters to be rescued behind there, and I think there's also either a heart tank or an energy tank. And you know, I can show you how difficult it is to defeat High Max at this point if you want to, because he's now the boss that will be hiding behind the alternative, you know, at the end of every alternative area. And so, I guess at this weapons research facility, Aelia is telling me that the story behind Infinity is that, you know, he struck out on his own. And even though he was a brilliant scientist, as much as a robot can be a scientist, you know, all the other authorities just got tired of him, and, you know, he got offed, making it look like an accident. And since Zero's got the double jump, we'll go ahead and use him again. Because the thing is, like, this alternate area right here, it's like one big, huge gap from the beginning to the boss room, and all you got is those wires that hang in midair for you to hang off of. Try to get the dragonflies going. And the Maverick Hunters are, you know, randomly arrayed all about just hanging in midair themselves. And of course you gotta save them from the nightmares in time, and wow, Zero's Saber. And sometimes it's hard to get the dragonflies going because you have to press up in the special attack button. we'll just head right in here. And I really hate how the game freaking tricks you like this. I don't know, maybe I'm just a dullard, but all you have to do is actually walk left. And oh, okay, well, yeah, a heart container and the light capsule. It's amazing. It took me so long to figure that out. And I think it was the final parts of the blade armor I could just never find. And finally, when I went to the walkthrough, it said, "Oh, well, as soon as you go into the alternative area, walk left." You just don't expect to be able to do something like that. Like at the start of an area, you expect that the only way you can go is right. And Zero at this point actually seemed surprised himself that he was able to repair himself and not actually die off. And Dr. Light said, "I don't know. I didn't create you." Let's just grab the heart container too. Okay, we'll get this going, and it really helps for fending off the nightmares as they're coming at you from knocking you off. But what I really have to do is be careful not to press the up button and attack at the same time. And God, there were 3 there in a row and nightmares all around. It was just, there goes 2 that I've lost. Really hard to save them all, I suppose. Because yeah, I had the biggest problem with pressing up and attack by accident here. Because I'm trying to jump up and do a normal saber attack, and I just end up doing the special attack where you just go careening off into the distance. And of course you can't grab onto a wire hook that whole entire time. I think I left one more down here somewhere. Yeah, that one. I tried to grab on. Oh well, in any event, it's not like I'm going to be able to defeat High Max. It doesn't matter if I game over. Now we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to make it over to High Max. I mean, who knows? If I somehow by miracle defeat him, I guess it really doesn't matter if Gate Stage opens up for us right now or not. I'm not intending to go there right away. Strangely enough, in this room you can also see Illuminous remains. So yeah, High Max pretends that... Actually, Zero hasn't even met him before, has he? And I didn't know, actually, when I first came into here, I secretly suspected that I wouldn't be able to damage High Max at all because I didn't have the special ability of Zero's yet, where you actually can just do like this constant, really fast cartwheel saber thing. And it's the only thing that, like, goes through High Max's armor, or at least so I thought, to where it makes him vulnerable to where you can normally attack him. But apparently the dive attack I got from Ground Scaravich actually automatically damages him. The thing is, it's much harder to hit him with it, so it's not that useful. But yeah, as you can see, High Max is definitely fighting more aggressively than before. And honestly, if I manage to defeat him before gaming over, then I'm awesome. Because at this point, I just really don't have the means necessary to get him. I can't even seem to... Whoop! Okay, well, I guess And now that I think about it, with X, it also depended on where you kind of attacked him, whether you would automatically damage him, or just make him vulnerable like that to where he's flashing for a while and he's stunned to where, and then you can actually damage him. And of course, he's still flashing for a while even when he comes back down, so you can't just cheap shot him automatically as soon as he comes down. Which, you know, that's only fair. But I think he's a really interesting character they came up with in terms of how you fight him anyway. This is a pretty good idea. I think it really tests your know-how of, you know, Mega Man X controls. Against most of the bosses in X6, you have to be really fast and dodgy. Yeah, not doing too good at all. And of course, Zero has, you know, not nearly as good as armor as X's special armor, so. But honestly, that's the only thing to make it fair. Otherwise, you'd use Zero the whole time, because if he took as little damage as Mega Man X, honestly, what reason would there be, at least if you're just trying to beat the game, what reason would there be to, you know, ever use X? Because Zero's weapons have always just been more effective, at least in my opinion. And the double jump, of course. If I can just get him before, okay, not gonna work. And of course, what I keep, you know, I keep jumping so far into him before I even attack that I end up landing on the ground right where he lands and taking more damage. And wow, that hurts. If I could just learn to control my jumps like that, like I did just now the whole time, you know, this would probably actually be plausible. And unfortunately, I can't just exit the stage, so we can continue on. So yeah, double jumping straight into him really isn't going to do it, because you'll just end up getting damaged at the same time. But if you can just barely nick him like this, well, then you're in the clear. Honestly, I'm going to give it my best shot right now. Oh! Well, of course, that's predictable enough. And then, whoops, I accidentally clung to the ceiling instead of jumping normally up. Well, if you just keep doing that, we're never going to get anywhere, sir. Didn't quite reach him. Well, I got him before he activated his shield. Maybe I should try that more. Well, I couldn't get out of the way of that in time. And of course, that took off half my life, just those two hits right there. I seem to have a hard time actually timing my jumps. And if you miss entirely, then you're a sitting duck for... I didn't get him in time. Boy, if High Max falls on top of you, that really... Well, last shot. Honestly, it'll be a miracle if I make it. There we go. I'm gonna try to get him before he gets me. Nope. It's almost like Zero's normal jump saber attack does more than like his kind of the one where he just kind of spins it. And I really messed that one up. Whoop. Okay, you know what? That's enough. Let's just end it. Okay, so, well, we at least took care of the Maverick Hunter bit and getting all the special items in that stage. So really the only thing left to do is, well, really nothing in that stage unless I want to defeat High Max there. When I'm finally good enough to defeat him. Actually, I think, I think I just got the Master Saber part. Yeah, that's death for that stage. Actually, no, what that is, this is pertaining to Infinity Fleet stage. When they say missing, that means that a hunter did turn into a Maverick. It's just you either didn't kill him or you died in the, you know, right as he was being turned. Oh, and, I didn't think I was anywhere near going up a rank with Zero. Cool. So now I can equip 2 parts. And I think that just makes the saber ever slightly more powerful. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's useful. I can't really tell the difference, personally. And let's see, how many parts to the blade armor we have? Okay, well, cool. We have, in all 4 stages we've completed so far, we've gotten the available part in them. I think Shield Sheldon, yes, that's his name, Shield Sheldon, is the last one. So I mean, at least where we get the last part for the blade armor. So we'll go there next. Shield Sheldon. Capcom. But hey, you're not doing anywhere nearly as bad as Square Enix is these last few years. Alright, Ailey, what you got for us? The Laser Institute? And all she says is, it's a mysterious place. Well, it seems to me it's some kind of, you know, scientific someplace for scientific research. I don't know why it'd be mysterious and unknown. Unless there's like secret government things going on here. Oh yeah, what we got here is just invisible platforms. But all you gotta do is just take a leap of faith and you're good. And the platform will appear for you. I can't remember. Yeah, Ray Arrow, that's Infinity Flea's weapon. I can't remember if that was really useful or not. Oh, but... Okay. Sorry, I panic whenever I see a nightmare going for a helpless Maverick Hunter. Oh, I forgot. Falcon Armor can charge up. Can charge up shots. I don't have to wait to get Blade Armor. Wow. Well, that's useful. Falcon Armor, I guess, gets a pass then. But yeah, all you have to do here is trick these lasers into... Come on. This way. Yeah. And then the reflectors that you see on the ground in various angles, they'll, Yeah, I already know, Ailey. I took care of it by sheer accident. Thank you. And you gotta admit, that's a pretty cool attack right there. Okay, so we gotta get this thing turned around. Whoop! A little bit too far. And I think down below is the secret area, but that's where the Blade Armor's hiding, I'm pretty sure, so we're gonna... Just gonna open it up. God, so many things. Like, what are these impenetrable dragonflies that keep appearing? Honestly, this wouldn't be that annoying if it wasn't for them. Okay, so then we trick the laser into going this way. Yep. It's an interesting puzzle, I suppose. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is turned in the right direction. I guess the laser has to now hit this thing, and boom, we're done. Or almost. Not quite. And finally... Whoops. There we go. And what we got here is, oh no, Giga Attack. Whew, that was close. I couldn't, yeah, oh no, really, he came back. I forgot, if you don't collect the soul, they just, they reappear. Sorry, buddy, I have failed you. And finally, the Blade Armor is complete. And to tell you the truth, now I'm not sure what the difference is between the Falcon Armor and the Blade Armor, really, other than their Giga Attack. Because now that you know, it's jogged my memory that the Falcon Armor can also charge up the special weapons, well, I can at least rescue you, buddy. And now the Maverick Hunter transformed is trying to attack me over here. But yeah, you just have to guess that you can go right, left here, through the wall, and bam. Or X observes and gives you a hint. Okay, well, I guess I can't complain about that. Well, we're now 3 for 3. There we go. Consider yourselves rescued, and we're just going to have to take the hit on this heart container here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Worst Giga attack ever. Who knows, maybe with X's, you know, sheer ability to lessen the damage in Falcon armor, I mean, maybe I'm actually a match for High Max right now. Not necessarily a match for him, but I guess it's doable. Just grab you. Oh, weapon tank, cool. Oh, and this part is so annoying. It's like as soon as you touch the side of the spikes, you don't even have to go directly on top of them. You get owned. So you can either come back when you have Shadow Armor, I suppose, because you're able to walk on spikes in Shadow Armor. But, I touch like the base of them, and somehow it counts as... So it's real just tricky how I have to take care of those particular hunters, but of course I want to rescue them, so. Or I can use invincibility frames to get up there, that works too. Let's see here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna... Yeah, I mean, it's like, how the crap do you get up there normally if you can't touch any part of those spikes? Any part. Okay, we're just gonna... Whoops. I accidentally slid out of the way instead of jumping on up. Hey, I got all the lives in the world to do it, though. And that time I jumped up from too low a distance. I tell you what, let's just not employ the dragonflies and end up killing that thing by accident. And I don't know what it is with me having a problem sliding in midair, but okay. Okay, why do I keep doing that? Sorry, I know that looked like I was just being an idiot, but I was actually just trying to see if I was accidentally pressing right twice in order to do the slide in midair. And somehow I am subconsciously during this time. I don't know how. Okay, I'm just gonna try jumping up normally here and pressing over once. Doesn't work. But somehow I'm doing it at this exact point right here when, of all times, I don't need to do it. I guess in my hurry to cling to the wall and get up over the spikes as soon as possible is what's fumbling me here. And that was just me being an idiot overshooting my jump. And there we go again. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna try to do this traditionally. And sorry, I was trying to activate Commander Yamark's weapon, thinking I was 0. But you actually have to scroll over to your special weapon. Okay. Let's just... Maybe if I can trick the laser into hitting me? I know, it's like, what's my obsession with getting just this one last guy over here? And that time I actually made it up and over, but I didn't slide in time. Okay, you know what? I'll just come back to that later. I should stop wasting time. But yeah, blade armor is complete, so let's get a gander at what that can do in this guy's stage. And this, I think this is normally the guy I take on last, because his, like, I don't think he himself was actually that powerful. It's just that the stage was really annoying. It was like a gauntlet of mini bosses. And again, like I said, there seems to be like a particular theme to every stage, and I like that. But in this guy's case, it was really annoying. And yeah, and there's another like double adjective thing to describe the the theme of this guy's attacks, the fact that he's the resident fire maverick, just like with Blizzard Wolffang. Yeah, I don't even know what this place, the magma area, that's all she says. X is like, oh, it's a weird color magma, so is it the nightmare? So yeah, down here, there's just a giant Reploid, and it's got like these four green orbs on all 4 of its sides. It's like this giant square-shaped thing. Yeah, this right here. At least this Maverick is completely safe, and I can just rescue him anytime I want. Oh, I forgot. Wow. X's Giga attack is pretty useless on his blade armor. So yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get back with it. You have to fight like 4 of these guys before the end of the stage, and oh, that's why it wasn't working. Yeah, with the blade armor, when you slide in midair, you actually, can hover there for a minute and decide where you want to go, but that means you having to actually make it happen, which is kind of a disadvantage in a way, but I can see what they were going for, I guess. But yeah, this dude has a crap load of HP, and he just gets harder in some way every time I see him. It sucks. But one thing I can do, let's see if this will work. Commander Yamark's weapon charged up. Yeah, and it goes on for a while, so that's what, even though they're kind of flying off in random directions, well, they can protect you. And the fact that they go on for so long, makes it useful enough. And I think I finally got him. Just as long as I don't actually accidentally fly into him, I guess. There we go. Okay, well, can we go up any? Okay. Guess not. Yeah, it's pretty cool stage music, and even though I have no idea what this place is actually supposed to be, then again, in most Mega Man stages you don't. It's you know, it works. Sorry, I was drinking milk at the moment and caught in my throat. Whoop. And the blade armor is just as defensible as the Falcon armor, so of course that's always good. And honestly, I don't know what to say overall which armor's better, because the only two differences, unless there's something else I'm missing, is the way you slide in midair and the Giga attack. And even though the blade armor attack is not useful against anything except what's right in front of you, I don't know if I can say that it's really any worse than... Die! Thank you. I don't know if I can say it's any worse than the blade armor Giga attack, so... Oh, okay, so this one, you know, goes up around in a circle instead of just back and forth. There goes one. And the Dragonflies themselves, you know, do damage, so it's not only a shield, but it can do its own damage. I mean, that's awesome. This is honestly one of the most useful weapons in the entire franchise, I think. It's also blocking his shots, so hey, what more can you ask for? Oh, by the way, guys, if I've been ranting for a moment, I know this isn't even the right game I'm playing to do this, but I gotta say, you might have heard me on my BioShock Infinite rant, and if you haven't, then hey, please, by all means, go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, which door do I go through? But, actually, I'm just gonna go up above. No! Let's drop out of sight so the Nightmare doesn't go after him. Okay, I'm gonna have to be crafty about this. Oh, you can't even go, you can't even dash upwards? That sucks. Well, I guess we really can't get up there except with Zero, so never mind that. Oh, but yeah, anyway, there is just something I found last night that I really have to rant about. It's like, I was curious. I was just thinking about how bad the Final Fantasy series has been the last couple of years. I mean, come on, most of you guys have to admit, 13 and 14, at least the first version of 14 that came out, I heard they did something to make it more appealing to, you know, old-timey Final Fantasy fans. And maybe they did, but whatever, the damage is done. It's, I decided to look up, you know, I heard some news that, you know, they're already on 15, so what's the deal with that? And I saw, like, a gameplay footage. I don't know if that was, that might have been at E3, I'm not sure. But, yeah, mostly the footage was depicting how combat goes, and I gotta tell you, screw you, Square. What are you doing? It's like you're doing this out of spite now. And maybe the backlash over Final Fantasy 13, it just made you, I don't know, just predispose you to wanting to piss us off now, because it got you aggravated that we didn't like 13 for obvious reasons. And then you just go ahead and make another Final Fantasy game that, while we don't know personally yet, and I mean there's no way to tell, we don't personally know yet if things like the controls, whether it's linear or not. Yeah, I heard they're doing world exploration. They're going back to world exploration, and hey, at least that. But everything I saw in the combat footage was completely unfamiliar. It was like an action flick, just an over-the-top action flick. Explosions going off, guns going everywhere. I saw like the hero, the supposed hero. He was, I swear, he like took a soldier's head and bashed it into a car door, and that's how he killed him. I saw blood, which that's definitely not something, other than that one scene in, other than that one part in FF7, where you see the blood that Sephiroth has spilled all over the Shimmer building. But, you know, that's for effect and atmosphere, to make you dread Sephiroth. It wasn't just for, you know, I don't think it was ever used in the death of an enemy, or even a comrade, you know, that's shown in a Final Fantasy game. It just, this whole thing, I recognize nothing, other than there was somewhere in all that, in this action-y, modern world setting, I saw like a behemoth and a leviathan, and I'm not sure what they're doing there if everything else is completely unfamiliar. So yeah, you know what? Bite me, Square. After seeing this and hearing that you moved up Lightning's bra size for her return in Final Fantasy 13-3, because hey, why not? This is the last of it. You completely dishonored yourselves, and I don't think there's any coming back from this. They'll never return to the glory of the old days. I mean, everybody would probably look at 4, 6, and 7 as absolute masterpieces, the classics of the series. I mean, for me personally, it's 6, 7, and 9. Those are my 3 favorite Final Fantasy games. But either way, anything Square has come out with before, I'm sure just about everybody would agree on, is better than any of the things that have come out in 2010. Even Final Fantasy X-2, as much as that seemed to be hated, it didn't make you want to give up completely on Square, you know? You just saw it as, okay, one bad idea, they learned their lesson, that's it. Because, at least as far as I know, I never played it myself. Apparently, FF11 wasn't, you know, turned out to be not as hated as what people, you know, thought, how much people thought they would hate it, because it was an MMO, and that's betrayal. But, and then Final Fantasy 12, with me personally, I love that game. But 13, 14, all the 13 sequels, I think it's really over. Square's just not coming back. And, you know, I guess what made me what made me start thinking about why 13 sucks so badly in the first place was because, you know, I was watching the final part of the Spoony One's review of Final Fantasy 13, and he just completely gave up on it, or at least, you know, according to the skit he was doing, that's how it goes. I think he's actually planning on doing 13-2 later on, and he's gonna finish. You know, he's gonna explain the rest of Final Fantasy 13-1 in order to get to that. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how Square can keep doing this. At the end of Spoony's review, you saw this quote from you know, one of the head honchos at Square Enix, and he just makes a quote that we just try not to listen to critics too much. We got a story to tell, so if the game's got to be linear in order for us to do it, then I mean, we're going to go with that in order for us to be able to portray what we want out of the characters and really get you involved in the story. Well, first of all, that's a terrible reason in the first place. Just to say, okay, in order for us to you know, really tell a good story, we're gonna have to make the sacrifice of, you know, a necessary evil of the game being as linear and hallway-ish as it was. It was an infinite hallway. That's all there is to it. Oh yeah, I forgot, when you touch the purple lava, it's automatic death. But the thing is, the dude's got some balls for saying that anyway. I'm sorry, I don't remember what his name was, but people probably know the quote I'm talking about, especially if they've seen Spoonie's review. The fact that he even dares to say we got a story to tell, like there was anything good storyline-wise in that game, it was the worst story ever. And Spoonie's right, it's some of the worst writing ever too. There's no explanation for, I mean, there's no reason for not having an explanation during, you know, in the midst of the game, trying to help you understand what's going on. I mean, I struggled forever for like the first 4 or 5 game hours with what a fallacy is, what a lessee is, on top of those being stupid sounding terms in the first place. Oh yeah, this is what sucks. I'm gonna have to get on the other side of this guy just to even be able to hope to damage. I stumbled. But not only that, the dude just almost flat out said, we're not going to listen to critics. We're not going to correct. We're going to keep doing things the way we want to. And even though it's, you know, even though Final Fantasy fans don't see it as traditional Final Fantasy, even though it's not what they want, they want to return to old school stuff. Well, we're not going to do it. We're just going to keep doing whatever it takes, and we know not whatever it takes. We're just going to keep doing whatever makes money, and we know what's going to make money because idiots like me, myself, are, and I'm actually speaking of myself here. People like me are actually just going to keep on going. It just in vain hope that somehow we'll go back to the magic of the old days. We don't need flashy graphics. We don't need a whole bunch of action-y kung fu crap. Just typical swords and sorcery fantasy setting. Just, you can go with that. You can bring that into the modern video game generation. You did it with FF9. I mean, you managed to blend it perfectly with, you know, with the direction of the PlayStation console, really. Bringing back old school while still having graphics and intensity, and I mean, just, and yet it's like he's pretty much just saying there, we don't care. We're just gonna keep going with what makes money. So that's it. And because a certain other head honcho, I don't remember who it was, in the article I read about how, you know, people were confused at this picture of lightning that, you know, was revealed at a gaming convention or something. I don't know exactly how. Where she's, you know, grinning like an idiot and hanging over where you see these just ridiculously humongous breasts. It was like whoever it was in the article on that, whoever it was that works at Squaresoft that was responsible for this, all he said simply was that, well, I like big boobs, so I'm gonna do it. I mean, it pretty much came to that. That's all it was. And, you know, hey, it's cool to have this kind of stuff in fighting games. You know, girls with incredible bodies have been in fighting games for forever. They're there to be admired while they're doing their flashy karate moves and everything, and especially in DOA. That's what the Dead or Alive series has always been known for, is Kasumi and the rest. And that's cool. I mean, if you want to keep it in there, fine. But it does not belong in Final Fantasy. Hypersexualization, I thought we proved that in Final Fantasy X too. I thought we proved that already. This is not what the fans want. I can't think of any substantial percentage of fans that would want anything. Oh god, not just 4 but 5 of these guys. Okay, we'll go with that. I can't think of any substantial percentage of fans that actually wants this to happen. I mean, sure, at the moment, you know, they'll gawk at it and you know, like the fact, but you know, when you get your, you know, typical male horn dog phase out of the way after observing, I mean, you realize this is stupid. We don't. This is precisely what doesn't belong. There's just so many things Square's been doing to piss me and Lantis off lately, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of fans when I say that. I don't think I'm making a bold, presumptuous statement there. I mean, not even just Final Fantasy, but the Parasite Eve series, the milking of Kingdom Hearts, which finally, if you didn't know this, and I guess unless you remember at the mag where he posted his gameplay review of the first Kingdom Hearts game. Finally, Lantis started playing Kingdom Hearts with his wife, and you know, just to see, okay, maybe you know, maybe this is actually good, and I was just being, you know, I was just being prejudiced against it because of the whole, you know, idea of Squaresoft merging with Disney. Well, even then, he said it pretty much sucked, and he described in detail why it did, and it seemed to me it was more than enough reason to think it sucks. And even then, I think people who were actually fans of the first game, after a while they just start wondering, okay, why do we keep milking the series? Why do we keep coming out with sequel after sequel or spin-off? I just think at this, I've always tried to be positive and optimistic about this, guys, but I honestly think it's over. They're never coming back. In the end, I'll probably cast caution to the wind and end up, you know, at least checking out Final Fantasy 15 in just the slightest hopes that it will be better than what I'm thinking it is right now. But I had the same positive outlook about Final Fantasy 13 even after I heard about the linearity and lack of actual towns in the game and stuff like that, and I was disappointed. I kept saying to myself, no, there's a rational explanation for this. There's got to be a worthy substitute for... I'm just assuming that he's weak to ground Scaravich's weapon. I'm just trying it out because, well, I haven't really tried it out yet. Whee! Oh, well, there it goes. I'm sorry, I seem to get confused when I'm in the blade armor here. And in a way, I kind of like, as over the top as it is, I kind of like Blaze Heatnik's ability to just summon an entire layer of lava out of nowhere. Oh, whoa, he's just blazing across the screen, okay. And boy, it does substantial damage even in X's armor. So yeah, I'm sorry about going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with MegaMan, but yeah, there's just so many different reasons to hate Square right now, and at least from that one statement alone that I saw at the end of Spoonie's review, where he just, you know, this particular guy from Square Enix said, you know, we got a story to tell, so we just don't listen to critics too much. You might as well just be saying, we don't care. We don't care if you end up hating it. We're going to keep going in this direction. And for just the fact that he said, we have a story to tell. You had no story, sir, in 13. And I heard in 13 too that, I mean, supposedly it got even more ridiculous with this time travel BS. Yeah, the only time travel has ever been done, as far as I can remember, is Chrono Trigger. So, well, there we go. Easy enough. Even though I did die the first time. So that was Blaze Heatnik, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, Magma Blade. Oh, boy. I can't remember if that was useful for X or not, but with Zero, it was actually a step down from the from the, you know, the fire uppercut that you get from Magma Dragoon in X4 for Zero. So, and that he doesn't leap up into the air. Maybe in a way that's actually better since, oh, Ultimate Buster, cool. But in X6, the flaming uppercut thing you get from Blaze Heat Mix, Zero just stays on the ground and his saber just extends upwards a little bit. I mean, it still does substantial damage. It's, you know, it's still useful. It's just that, you know, he doesn't really get any airtime with it, so it doesn't reach up quite as far. Okay, well, I'm sorry guys, I've been going on for an hour, and I'll come back with part 4 here in just a little bit. See you later.